Bullhorn Betty. Team foul play. Team foul play. Hey guys, I know I haven't been live today. We had a lot going on. Today was Tony's birthday. We went to his favorite chicken place in Nashville today to celebrate his birthday. Hey Mama of 4, it's nice to see you. I hope everybody is doing well. And so, as we were, hey hindsight, Kendra, the real me too, Patricia, it's nice to see you all. Kelly, hey guys. Most hated Tina. I love that. Oh, Georgia, it's nice to see you. Carla, Lisa, Melly Cat. You guys are moving fast. Della, it's nice to see you. Lainey, Stephanie, hey guys. Lori, 5D, it's nice to see you, my love. The Hen House, Shining Star. Lisa, it's nice to see you. Nice to see you all. So I just wanted to come here for a little bit because we are talking about Sebastian Rogers. He went missing from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Where he was home alone with a Navy person that obviously knows how to do MMA fighting and all this other stuff and managed to disappear. So whatever that case may be. But long story short, we are still covering the case of Sebastian. We're going to continue to cover the case of Sebastian. We know something is not right. And I'm pretty sure that they would have much rather had me discuss this case more in depth than what's about to happen. I'd be more concerned with Tony and Seth being unmuzzled and his leash lengthened because as you guys saw today, it sounds like it's going to be hard to put this back into the can, if you so to speak, right? So it opened a different type of can of worms, if you will, related to this case. They don't have to worry about me anymore, but I would be very concerned because I can tell you I was the gatekeeper to something much more damaging and worse. Okay, I would be more concerned about a father missing his son that's been out searching for his son, that has not seen his son in over 7 months, than I would about my commentary. Because let's face it, it wasn't about them being scared or me violating any type of law. It was about my commentary, right? They didn't like my language. They didn't like how I did my journalism. They didn't like how I did my activism, even though it was all within the confines of the United States law, Tennessee law, and federal law. They didn't care. They just want to shut Bullhorn Betty up. Well, they only have so much they can do. They cannot prevent my freedom of speech, which we've got a lot of attorneys that say that. So I never went around these people. Don't talk about these people, or don't talk to these people. Don't ask anybody to reach out to these people. Therefore, I'm not violating a damn thing, because it's very clear in those orders. Those orders have been reviewed, and it's very clear. I've never reached out to them before. I ain't reaching out to them now. I'm not threatening them. Never threatened them before. A machete was to be used out in the woods of Tennessee. I was advised by a law enforcement officer that pulled me over because people kept calling them saying I was driving all over the road swerving, and he's the one that advised me to get a gun. Never threatened anybody. All I simply said was this officer advised me that I can carry my gun, that there was reciprocity in that state, and he would recommend me exercising my Second Amendment. That was all caught on body cam footage. So definitely no threats. Don't want to imply that there were any threats, but speaking about a gun in America is not threatening. Like literally 90% of American, well, maybe 70% of Americans own them, right? So I'm a single female, and they stripped me of my Second Amendment rights when I've committed no crimes. I want that to sink into people. But we're going to get off that because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about Sebastian Rogers. And they're trying to prevent me from talking or trying to find him when I believe that he can be found and people know where he's at and what's going on. And we're not, as American people, we're being constrained by the government in Sumner County that we can't even have our opinion on who is responsible for that. Well, I have a lot of opinions on who's responsible for that. I would say it's a criminal enterprise. And that criminal enterprise has done something with this child. And this criminal enterprise comprises of 4 main people and a lot of YouTube content creators. That is my opinion that I'm entitled to as an American citizen in the United States of America. I think they opened a can of worms when they tried to prevent me from speaking about this case, because now they're going to have to deal with the father and his spokesperson, which I can guarantee that by the time they're done, it's going to look like Bullhorn Betty was cakewalk. That's what it appeared after tonight's show with Vinnie Politan. It shows that a father has had enough. A father wants answers about where his son is. Seth Rogers is not going to stop. I don't think that the criminal enterprise nor the county are prepared. But hey, you know what? They may throw the father in jail because, let's face it, their taxpayers are more important to them than, finding a 15-year-old child, a medically needy child. So I'm kind of interested in what Seth is going to be saying in the near future. I'm very, very interested in how he's going to approach this situation. But I can guarantee by the time Seth and his spokesperson, Tony Mathis, is done with this case, I'm pretty sure even the judge might be begging me to take over commentary. I don't know. But I would say that a father missing his son and watching people paraded in court laughing while he's over there crying. Laughing. Laughing to the point people's heads are turning. So happy, so relaxed, as if they knew what the outcome of that court was going to be before they even got there. Before they even got there. Too happy, too comfortable, too corrupt. Too corrupt. Too corrupt. I don't really have a whole lot to say tonight. I really don't. I'm exhausted. We've been in Nashville. We've had a great day with Tony and celebrating his birthday. It was a great day, a fun day, something that we all needed to do. We just needed to go out and enjoy our time together. I do have a little side project that's going to be coming up, and I can't even speak about it yet. It's going to be pretty exciting. And I can't really say any more than that, but it's probably going to piss a lot of the hate channels off. You know how they go. You know how they roll. They don't like anybody being able to do anything or say anything or anything like that. Well, I don't listen to them. I just don't. Where is Dog? I'm sure Dog is probably dealing with the hurricane, which I was saved by this port from. My house. I don't know what's going on with my house. Oh, thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for the love and support. But I have to be honest with you. I don't know what I'm walking back into when I get home. My neighbor says my lawnmower is still there, but my shed is gone. I have 2 sheds, so I don't even know which shed it is. I'm pretty sure it's the shed with the lawnmower in it, but that's what I had assumed. But I got 2 sheds, so it's very well that the other shed could have went. I don't know which shed is down, but there was a tree that fell on the power lines, so I have to assume it fell back on the same shed that it did before, which is the one with the lawnmower. So I don't know what's going on with that. But it's neither here nor there. It's just life in Florida. Hurricanes are part of the life in Florida, and there are people that died in that hurricane. I guess the hate channels are probably wishing that they didn't start this whole mess, because who knows? It might have been me there in Florida. They may have saved me from death so they get to see me a little bit longer because they're idiots. We can't fix stupid. Oh, I can't say that. That's so unprofessional of an investigative journalist, according to this judge that has no idea anything about the freedom of press, which is pretty sad. My suggestion would be maybe civil litigation 101, just possibly, because I'm just an AA and paralegal, not even a BS. And some of the stuff that he asked the attorneys to me showed not being very knowledgeable in certain areas of the law. And those certain areas of the law are something that I used to work in quite often, and that's civil litigation. And I can tell you without a doubt, proper service is a condition precedent. It's not something that can be dismissed. You can't move from point A to point B without proper service. And according to this judge, it's elective whether you get proper service in civil litigation. That's the ruling of the judge. It's like, wow. Yeah, he's got a great resume in criminal law. This isn't criminal law. Criminal law and civil litigation are two totally different animals. And you learn that in school very, very well. It's literally drilled into your head about the differences between criminal law and civil law. It's also drilled in your head you can't advance to B without going through A. Just saying. Do you think your attorney should have fought harder and would have won? Nothing would have Lorraine, no. Like I said, those people came in there too cool as a cucumber. They were laughing too entirely loud. We knew within 5 minutes of being in that room that the decision had been made prior to me even going there. Okay, there is literally nothing that would have changed the outcome of that hearing yesterday. Nothing. And I mean nothing. If they didn't show up, he would have still put them in. That's how confident I am that nothing we could have done would have prevented what the judge did yesterday. Just saying. I don't trust the county. I told you that I felt I wanted to believe that this judge would be fair. He was not. He did not follow the law. Whether or not my attorney had argued, he presented solid case law, and that judge twisted and turned and churned as much as he possibly could to make sure it didn't go through. They've done a lot of damage. That Sumner County has done a lot of damage in the Sebastian Rogers case. And because I am critical of that, they want to silence me. But there is only so much that they can silence me about. Can they throw me in jail? Yes, he can. But that's a violation of my rights. He could absolutely do that. He could absolutely do what he did yesterday because he knows I'm going to have to raise money to appeal. And that's what they expect. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to see if I could actually raise the money to file that appeal. That's what they are. Right now, all we're waiting for right now is the transcripts and the orders. The transcripts and the orders. And once we get the transcripts and the orders, we will be figuring out what to do. But like I said, we have a plan. It is sad that this county is choosing to do all the wrong things for all the wrong people, while putting the people that are truly trying to find answers behind bars because he doesn't like my commentary, because they were able to take 7 months of clips and put them into a 9-minute video that should never have been admissible in that hearing. And they did, without putting context. He didn't want to hear about my channel and didn't want to hear about what I did, but then tells me I didn't answer. I can only answer the questions that they asked me. That's all I can do. And he says that I have not done, that man does not know anything. He wouldn't let anything in. He wanted to order against me. I think he had to order against me. I think his job is on the line if he didn't order against me. Like I said, it was preconditioned before I even walked in there. As soon as we saw how one of the criminal enterprises, or two of the criminal enterprises out in the back, were conducting themselves in that courtroom and laughing so loud that usually judges put a kibosh on that, it was very clear that they were a little too chummy and a little too comfortable speaking to the bailiffs. Speaking to the court reporter I paid for. There was definitely something in the air. I think everybody in there knew. Okay? Anybody that went to that court hearing, they knew. Just like I knew, I mean, you guys see Mr. and Mrs. E. I mean, we love Mr. and Mrs. E. They have a very laid back and very unbiased approach to most of this. And you hear their commentary. We all knew within 5 minutes before not a word was spoken. Do you understand that? Before we even got to that, before my attorney even called me up there, before my court hearing even started, we already knew that this was not going to be good. Why? Not because of the case law. Something else was odd in that courtroom. We have part of the criminal enterprise smiling in the camera, being so happy, so happy. But long story short is we've got a missing 15-year-old boy, and we cannot find this boy until we start looking at the people that were in and around this boy in his life. And I am obviously not even allowed to, allegedly. Now, we're going to be getting some more guidance on this because, first of all, I've never reached out to them. I've never spoke to them. I've never seen them except for the ones that have either reached out to me or have stalked me somehow, right? We all saw that. The judge didn't care. He didn't care what I have been through from this family. He only cared about what his taxpayers, his voters, were going to think of him. And that's a damn shame, because nobody that goes into that county is safe if they're not a taxpayer or know somebody or have developers in their back pocket that control the politicians. That's how it works. That's how it works. So what did you guys think of Seth's interview tonight on Court TV? Mexico case, saying people lied. That vendetta comment just proved the judge knows nothing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And journalist, does that dude know I have sold articles to TMZ, that I have been in umpteen, of course not. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't want to know. I'm sure they all know. They all talk. It's a small county. They all talk. He got a call. I guarantee he got a call. Like I said, it was already predetermined. Oh, Merle's mom, it's nice to see you, my love. I was asking about you a couple weeks ago, wondering how you were doing. I hadn't seen you, and I knew you had some surgery and you weren't feeling well. I was starting to get a little nervous. The only person who has personal vendetta. Yes, that is good. I like that. Karenati. Is that what you said? I don't even know what that, but I like how you put that. I'm still recovering. Well, that is so good. I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to see you here. How did I miss that? Dang. Is it on Court TV? Yeah, he did an interview tonight. Well, what had happened is they apparently were, they called Tony to ask him some questions about what happened in court, and they knew that Vinny was going to run the show tonight, and so he just offered, he would like to comment on what happened, and I was not anticipating all of that. I mean, I can promise you that. Wasn't anticipating, but you know what? I think what had happened is when Vinny showed the clips of me, the clips that they put together out of to drive a narrative. They were clips of a whole bunch of videos, which is really sad that a judge couldn't see through this garbage, but he didn't want to. Let's just be honest. The judge didn't want to. He wanted to find a reason, because the county's, let's face it, the county's in hot water, right? They can't find a kid. They withheld information. The Department of Children and Family Services withheld information from the biological father that could have prevented this entire mess. Everything in that county is wrong. Everything in that county is wrong. So you got to look at it like this. When they started playing that clip, I think it just enraged both of them. Because I can tell you their demeanor was one way, and as soon as they played those clips, their demeanor, because we were sitting there, watching them give the interview, and the demeanor their demeanor just changed. It was like they were done. They were done with the BS. They were done tap dancing. They were done walking on eggshells. They were done keeping their mouth shut, because let's face it, our channel has made it a pathway for them not to have to get dirty, so to speak, you know, say things that were really on their mind, because I had the protection of the freedom of press to convey my opinion, which is the team's opinion. And quite frankly, with what had happened, and it's my understanding that Seth saw no action to find his son, but all this action to try to shut me up, to try to stop the flow of information to this channel, to stop the flow of leads going to them, because nobody knows what kind of leads have been produced by my channel to them except them. And I can tell you, we have turned over a lot of information. A lot. But the judge didn't want to hear about me or my channel until it was convenient for him or for them to bring in. So that's where we kind of are. Thank you, Tugs and Heartstrings. I'll get right back to, hey, Granny, I was able to, I wanted to get Michelle and Courtney a some soap, but it just didn't. We were supposed to meet up, and Courtney has her dog, but I've got a couple more bars of soap left that I wanted to give away, but I made sure that everybody we were with, I forgot it yesterday. I was going to hand it out yesterday, but with everything going on, I forgot to grab it, so I only had it for today. When we went out to the chicken place, I got to tell you, it was so sweet. It was so sweet. I'll go and go through your super chats in just a second, but we got there. I had never been to this place before, and we sat down and started eating, and you know, it was Tony's birthday, and we put the gifts there, and we were sitting and having our drink. And I, you know, because it's just something, you know, you don't let the birthday guy buy his own birthday. It's just wrong, okay? It's just wrong. But we were there, and all of a sudden we were wrapping up. And of course, I talked to the waitress before, you know, as we got there. I spoke to the waitress to make sure that nobody paid for the bill except me. And the lady, I think, either was following this case or covering this case, or not covering this case, following this case, or knew about this case, and must have recognized us. So they gave us 50% off the entire bill. 50%. I mean, we had 5 people there. I mean, we you know, it was, I ended up giving the whole bill back to them, you know, in a tip, but I just thought it was really sweet, and she just wanted to tell the table that she's very sorry of everything that we're going through and all of this, that, and the other. And I've got to say that that was the second time something like that happened on this trip. These are people that truly support what we're doing, and truly know, and people have come up to us over and over and over again. People from just a lot of people from all walks of life about how corrupt Sumner County is. But we hear that in every county. I've never experienced this. This right here needs to stop. And there's nobody that's going to stop something like this other than Bullhorn Betty. Okay, we're scrappers, we're fighters, we know the law. We absolutely advocate for following the law to a T. I covered my ass. I reviewed the Tennessee codes. I reviewed the freaking property lines to make sure I didn't even violate, you know, crossing over from private property to public property. You know, I mean, I did everything to a T. They didn't like my commentary, and that judge didn't like me saying, basically, if I'm not committing a crime and I'm exercising my constitutional right, there's nothing that judge or these police can do about it, because you have to break the law. And they took it all out of context. Every last bit of it out of context with clips. This is the hate channels. You guys understand that. They created this circus. They created this mess. They created the distraction. And it's time to start correcting some of that. And unfortunately, for everybody, Seth's muzzle has been fully removed. And so is Tony's, quite frankly. So I have a funny feeling by the time this is all said and done with, they will be begging Bullhorn Betty to cover this case again. Because you've got a very angry and pissed off father that hasn't seen his son in 7 months, over 7 months. I do not work for Tony. I do not work for Seth. I am independent as independent gets. They are free to do whatever the hell they want to. God bless America, right? God bless America. God bless freedom of speech. God bless freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom to assemble peacefully. God bless America. I'll be taking a slight detour because and I can't, like I said, I can't really talk about it right now. But I've got some other things in the work. We're going to continue to talk about Sebastian Rogers because he is a pivotal person in this case, right? He's a missing child, a missing medically needy child that doesn't appear to have anybody looking for him except his biological father that was supposed to get custody of him before he disappeared. Kind of funny how everything transpired and the timing of everything from the CPS visit to his disappearance. CPS visits, plural. I like how Eric Craddock said there's no evidence of foul play. No evidence of foul play. And then on the heels of saying there's no evidence of foul play, further states that dogs didn't pick up a scent of a child that walked out of their home barefoot, and that there is no evidence that that child even walked out of the home. That's pretty powerful coming from a deputy sheriff. Very powerful statement. But hey, says one thing. So it must be a thing for this county where they say one thing and do another, or write down one thing and say another, right? You can't have contact. You can't. Like you just had a person on the stand, on a witness stand, saying that they've never seen me and I've never contacted them, and you're giving me a no contact order when I've never contacted them. Did anybody get that? So I've never contacted them. They stood on the witness stand, said I never contacted them by any form, any method, any means, but I have a no contact order. It seems like an oxymoron to me. An oxymoron. It's word salad. That is what makes me crazy. Yeah. Thank you very much for the membership. Does somebody give memberships? Aw, that's so sweet. Thanks, guys. You guys are really, really sweet. Really, really, really sweet. Stay strong, Betty. Thank you, Kelly X. We love and support you. Thank you. Queen of Hype, Kristen, it's nice to see you. Thank you. God bless you. Brenda. Jumping jacks and pom-poms. I love it. Tugs on a heartstring, Betty. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Can you get someone to check under that gazebo? I can't. I don't need to get that rash again where I break out in handcuffs. I can't. Reach out to Tony or Seth. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't know who would be able to do that. Maybe their PIs, I guess. I don't know. I know I can't ask anybody to do that. That's within 100 feet of their house. I ain't going there. That sounds like that. That doesn't sound good for me at all. Frank, it's nice to see you. Why did you say you never left the car when you did? Well, they were talking about me getting out of the car at their house, okay? I never exited my car at their house. We can all admit that. I posted flyers. Who the hell gets cops called on them for posting flyers of a missing boy? Okay? Clearly, I wasn't trying to harass him. I was speaking to my audience. I've never spoken to these people. So, you know, you can have your opinions all you want, but I could care less. I didn't do anything wrong. Unless now, if you exit your car, you should be breaking out in handcuffs. Or if you say anything about me, you should go to jail. If you have your opinion about me, you should be in jail because you're not entitled to your opinion in America, and definitely not in Sumner County. Right? So you think your right to have your opinion is more important than my right to have mine. It doesn't work like that. We either have freedom of speech, freedom of press, and the freedoms to assemble peacefully, or we don't. But yeah, I don't expect people on that side to have common sense because none of you have had it. All you care about is the smear campaign. That's it. You don't care about the truth. You don't care about finding this kid. You don't care about his father that's crying his eyes out almost every freaking night. You care about being popular, being with the trendy people, being with the clique. Okay? I'm trying to find a kid here. I don't have time for your BS. I really could care less. Okay? And if that pisses a lot of people off, I really could care less. Because as long as I don't violate the law, as long as I don't break the law, and people want to keep arresting me, they're worse than the criminals. They're worse than the criminals. They're no different than the people they put behind that bar, that jail. When you become judge and executioner when somebody has not committed a crime, you're no good in this country of a person of authority. No good. And what idiots put a judge in office that doesn't even know civil litigation? It just doesn't make sense. How many other people has he railroaded like this? I mean, you literally can't screw around service of process. It is literally a condition precedent. Look up what that means. It means you can't advance that case without having that done properly. And he thought that, you know, that's an option. It's not. It's never an option. You either have proper service or you do not. I am a Florida resident. Without proper service, that judge has no personal jurisdiction over me to put any order on me. It was a foolish ruling, in my opinion. An absolute foolish ruling. Aw, Gypsy, it's nice to see you, my love. Thank you. I'm so glad I got to meet you. I'm glad I got to meet a lot of people there. I know you guys are behind me, and this is what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to sit tight and wait because we're going to have to raise funds. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. To what extent, I don't know yet. You know, I never come with my hand out unless I know what I need to pay and what it's for, right? But we are going to absolutely have to raise some sort of funds at some point. We've got 30 days to file an appeal. We've got a great team, and we have a process to go forward if that's the route they choose to go. So that's why I'm sitting tight, because nothing is set in stone. All I know is we have a plan. And which avenue we're going to go down, I have no earthly idea until those decisions are made. But those decisions cannot be made until certain things are done. And one of those things are orders. We need to know what's in those orders, the way the orders are written, You know, there's just a lot of stuff, but you know, I can't go into the details of the case or what is going on because honestly, I don't know. But I know something is going to happen. I just don't know what. You know? Well, I shouldn't say that. You guys know. You guys know I can only say so much. So, Eileen, you're right in there. Other counties, 100%, he would be found. Listen, I'm not going to lie. If this case was in Florida, this case would be handled a lot different. I don't like Tennessee. I don't like Tennessee law because they don't follow it. They don't follow simple things like following the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children directive. There was a lot of things that they dropped the ball on, and we put a magnifying glass on it, and it's just easier for them to try to shut me up by illegal means, in my opinion, which I'm entitled to. At least that's what my Constitution says. I'm not sure what one judge that in this county is going to say, but I can tell you for me, it seems very crystal clear by our Constitution what my parameters are and what I can conduct. And it doesn't have to be something that's likable. I can be the most repugnant, irresponsible person, but as long as I don't break the law, it should be okay. Do you know if Dog and Nick are still helping? They are absolutely 100% helping. I can tell you that. Nick and that team have been a vital part for Seth as well as Tony. To me, they are close to guardian angels for me. I lean heavily on that team for a lot. I'll tell you that. And I'm trying to be careful here because I know that there's only so much I can say before Tony breaks down the door and puts a muzzle on me. So I got to be very cautious with what I say on these channels about this case. You know, I can talk about Sebastian. I can talk about the details of it. I've never threatened anybody, so I'm not really worried about violating a court order or a protective order. You know, I think the detective has realized, you know, you can't arrest people for hashtags, but who knows? I mean, you can't fix stupid in this county. But I'm upset, and as you guys can imagine, but I feel a little bit relieved in a sense as well, because I feel like Seth and Tony are probably the dynamic duo that they did not. I think this is going to have unintended consequences that nobody's going to be able to stop, because this is the father of the child. I don't know if they're going to try to prevent him from talking about his own son that he is the biological father to, but hey, I don't know what this county is going to do. I don't trust it. I've been very vocal on that for months. My attorney advised me not to speak about the courts or the county. I don't listen to my attorney very well at times. I will be honest with you, because I'm very upset about that county and the way I was treated, because I have an opinion that they don't agree with. But I think in a sense, we always look at the silver lining. And I think that by them taking away my voice, they've emboldened a much larger and bigger voice, in a sense. Somebody that is not really scared of Sumner County. Somebody that is fully protected by an intelligence company. And unlike me, you know, so we'll see. Allegedly, maybe, we'll see. I don't know. Tulips, is that your channel? Haters clearly watching and listening. God doesn't like ugly. Well, you know what? At this point, they can't even contact me, because that works both ways. And we know two people that are hired by this criminal element, and one is SF Investigates, and another one, among others, is that chick with the billboards, Free Willy. They come over here stomping. We all know that they're directly connected to them. Let anybody say anything like punching me in my face. It works both ways. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't say you're scared and then have your people threaten bodily injury to somebody and not have unintended consequences for that, especially when you hired them. Just saying. We know for a fact because the judge explained to a girl while we were there. She wanted to drop the protective order against her boyfriend and has agreed not to talk to him. The judge treated her pretty rough, if you ask me. And he was basically saying, why shouldn't I throw you in jail? I saw you in the back of the courtroom talking to him. And the judge was trying to scare her. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to scare her. Now, being concerned is one thing. Trying to, I don't know. I'm going to keep my mouth shut about my opinion on the judge right now. All I can say is that he was very clear that the protective orders work both ways. And I think at this point, there is any threats whatsoever from any of these creators on behalf of anybody, please clip it and please send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, because that right there would be a violation on them, not on Bullhorn Betty. So we need to be careful. The judge is an arrogant. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion about the judge. I thought he would give me a fair shake. He wasn't looking to give me a fair shake. We knew at the minute that they came in and people were laughing in the back of the courtroom loudly when there was a child missing. To me, it wasn't a laughing matter. People on our side were melancholy. They're concerned for a 15-year-old boy. And we get lightheartedness, laughter, and no concern on the other side of that courtroom, which is, I think, very noticeable to everybody inside that courtroom. So noticeable that it was concerning to everybody how that was appropriate or appropriate behavior. I don't think it's appropriate behavior to be laughing inside of a courtroom when there's a missing child that's allegedly family, not blood related, but family, right? I can tell you, I looked over at Seth several times, and that man had tears in his eyes. And I look over across the aisle, and you see them laughing and enjoying themselves in court. So that right there tells me nobody gives a damn about this boy. They only care about their jobs. They only care about how people vote. They only care about their people. They don't care about outsiders or applying the law the same to their residents as they do to outsiders. Or maybe they do, which if that's the case, that's a little concerning in and of itself. I hope the attorneys in this area are paying very, very good attention to what's going on. I hope the people in the area are seeing the behaviors of a detective that's overzealous and lied under oath. And I hope they see the behaviors of a judge that doesn't even seem to know what freedom of the press is. That's a little scary to me. A judge presiding over the case that doesn't know freedom of the press. That's scary. That's literally our Constitution, and we watched a judge on the bench not know the parameters of freedom of the press, or what media is, or what press is. Doesn't know. That's scary to me. Very, very scary. And see, I used to do research. I used to work for a law firm. I used to have access to Westlaw and LexisNexis. And I can tell you, with just a few key words, it pops up all the laws. It pops up all the case law. So there's no way that a judge can't go back to his office, punch in a few keywords, and have the law right in front of his face. So if he had the law right in front of his face, what is that saying? Seems very intentional to me. Then you look at the behaviors of the people in that courtroom, and it paints even a more disgusting picture. So I think a lot of cleaning up needs to be done here, and lawful cleaning up. And I pray to God that whatever plan is being hatched up by the attorneys advance us forward to the truth and reality. And I pray that Tony and Seth and give them and hope and pray they advocate for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers much better than I could. And I think they absolutely will. We need to advocate for him. We need to get back to the maps. We need to get back to the information. But, it's kind of hard when a judge is trying to hamper any type of work being done related to this child and who was last seen with this child. They're trying to prevent us from knowing statistics or being knowledgeable about cases such as this. They want to protect people that have publicly stated concerning details about what happened to this child while in their care. Yes, they will never charge a male. Law in that town sucks. What would you do with any clips if there were no ROs and no one? Would they valid, or are they going to file? I don't know. But you know what? I've got like umpteen screenshots of people asking exactly the same things I've asked. I've got umpteen screenshots of several different people going by that home. These aren't me. These are people that I don't even like, I don't associate with, and there's no way that ever can come back to me. So my question is, the only difference between me and them is my commentary. That's it. My commentary. We heard that attorney stand up in court. They weren't concerned about their safety. They were concerned about whether or not I can make videos or not. Unfortunately for the attorneys on that side of the aisle, there's only so much that judge can do before he can dance around this and he can play, whatever games, but there's only so many games he can really play lawfully before he is out of line. He's very close to that line, in my opinion, but there's only so much that judge can do, because you start gag ordering people. Those have been deemed unconstitutional by our U.S. Supreme Court. I can literally pull up several different cases that support that. They know that. Okay, the judge knows that. So he likes to scare people with his words, but he can only do so much with his lawful orders. And I think that's what it was. So, again, we have civil disobedience as part of our First Amendment. And at the end of the day, I absolutely think this county needs a lot of work, and they need a lot of understanding of the law from law enforcement to the people presiding over these cases. I mean, it's I gotta be honest with you, I'm quite concerned. I'm quite concerned about what I've been through and about what I heard a judge ask and appear to have no knowledge of. That's what's the most concerning. These are like things that you learn in like your most basic legal classes. That's my biggest concern. These are basic legal issues that everybody is taught, even the people in the low-level paralegal classes. You know? It's just a little concerning. I have to be honest with you. I'm very, very concerned. So I don't know how much more I can say. I think maybe I might have already said a little too much. So I want to be very careful, not about the whole PO stuff. I'm talking about my legal strategy and stuff like that. I don't want people like, oh, she knows she crossed the line. No, I didn't cross the line. I'm allowed to talk about this boy. I'm allowed to talk about a public interest case. You know? I'm allowed to talk about a public interest case. I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh my God, she can't say his name. I don't know what order you're reading. I think people need to read the frickin' order. And shut up and quit calling the damn county. Leave them the hell alone. These frickin' people. Too much. Way, way, way too much. My address is in Manatee County, Florida, where I conduct my legal and lawful business. Where this judge nor this county had personal jurisdiction over me. There's some problems with this case. And if people want to stick their head in the sand, they can, but I'm not. And I'm fighting. Period. So, and I know that we have a huge army behind me, and I'm going to lean on you guys. I'm very thankful and very proud of Seth and Tony tonight. I hope every single person here is also equally proud of them. Because you know what? That was stuff that was bottled up in them for a really, really long time. 7 months. 7 months. This father has been without his son. And you got people laughing in the courtroom. Laughing. People that are supposed to be caring for this boy. Not giving a crap. That is just repulsive to me. You want to talk about something that offends me? That offends me. That offends me. All right, guys. I love you. God bless you. We wouldn't want people saying, oh my God, Bullhorn Betty's losing her shit, is it? No, I'm not. Actually, as a matter of fact, I have never been better or more confident than I am tonight. I will tell you that. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I hope you guys enjoy your Friday night. Please, if you are planning on drinking, please have a designated driver. There's also Ubers. You can't sit there and go out to bars in your vehicle and not have a DD or some way to get home unless you only drink one drink an hour. Then you might be okay. But to me, one drink is one too many when you are behind the wheel of your car. So arrive alive, be safe, click it or ticket, get tow to go, Uber, whatever you need to do. I would prefer paying for a tow. I know it's a little more costly, but you don't have to worry. Your car's back at home, you're back at home. It's just a little bit more. I am with you step of the way, every step of the way, Betty. I had a child missing. You would be my first stop to go to. We love your determination and fearless way you advocate for missing. Well, apparently the judge is not really appreciative because he got a bunch of clip channels and wouldn't let me explain what I do. So he was very prejudicial in his ruling. He was very prejudicial in what I was allowed and not allowed to say. You can't say 1 minute my channel doesn't matter and then another minute let people present stuff on my channel that didn't matter, but won't let my attorney cross-examine a witness. Wow. We'll see what the attorneys have to say, what path forward we're going to go, and we'll just be done with it. I'm just over it. I really am. We need to get back to Sebastian. We need to get back to finding where he is. We need to get back to looking for maps and looking at maps, looking at directions that people may or may not go. We need to look at bridges in those areas that people may and may not go. And we need to get back to brass tacks. And at the end of the day, we have a father that has been missing his son. Okay, I don't know about the other family, but it doesn't seem like anybody else seems to be missing this child more than his father. And so we are going to continue to assist his father in strumming up leads that can be presented to law enforcement to help locate his son. And I'm sorry that law enforcement does not want to help or assist in that means other than Memphis FBI. Okay? There's nothing I can do about that. It appears to me that Dogg's team and Memphis FBI are the only people that are working this case and legitimately working this case. I've got my personal bet on Dog the Bounty Hunter. He is a world famous bounty hunter that has tracked down over 10,000 fugitives. I would definitely think that he would be able to get inside a monster's mind and be able to find where that monster may have taken Sebastian Rogers. So, okay, well, I'm glad you feel that way. Have a great day. Chris is here watching. I don't know if he is. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Hold on a second. Ida, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't think he's allowed to be. If we did find out, that would be, in my opinion, not a good look for somebody that has a protective order on me being in my chat or communicating with me. As a matter of fact, it's an absolute violation of an order. So I don't think that would be the case. I don't think that person would be in here. I pray to God that person would not be in here. We can't ban them. I don't want to ban them because I don't want to, and I would prefer everybody just not engaging with the trolls on here, but I'm not going to ban them. We're not going to ban him. Yeah, he's playing games in disguise. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. It just seemed like they had no cares in the world. CP, this is... Have we forgotten who's missing? Ignore the trolls. I agree. Ignore the trolls. Hey, JH, it's nice to see you. Merle's mom says 291 and 4. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you guys would like to. Hey, Rod, it's nice to see you. Put your number in, do a thumbs up, put your number in, and tell us what your weather is like in the area that you're at. Well, we do know that CP breaks the law, in my opinion. He's Pumpkinhead. Well, if somebody would like to remove that individual out of this chat, or send me some type of information to prove that, that would be great. How about a warrant for property? I don't know about that. I don't know. I can do whatever the hell I want to do, Mr. Pumpkinhead, because at the end of the day, the court order specifically states that I may not come around them and may not threaten them. I may not have communication with them directly or indirectly. And then none of those things I do. I've never done. As a matter of fact, we had somebody literally on the stand that told the judge they've never seen me and I've never spoken to them. So again, never violated the protective order before and definitely haven't violated the protective order after. So there is that. I mean, minor details. I'm busy blocking all the, I've been busy blocking all the trolls. It's been more peaceful that way. Yeah, you guys can all block these people individually. You just hit on the little circle next to their name and you can hit block and never see them again. It's very, very easy to do because we definitely don't want people that do not want to be here. Girl mom, Delilah is really, really good. My mom got her power on, but it doesn't look like my power's back on yet. They're just trying to get her messed up. It doesn't matter. They can't. It doesn't matter. They keep thinking I can't say anything about these people. I absolutely can't. I'm choosing not to until I get some more direction from my attorney. But again, it comes down to the order, and the order is crystal clear. Okay? I don't threaten these people. I'm not going to continue to sit here and have an argument about whether or not I'm allowed to speak about Sebastian Rogers' case. I will refer you to Court TV. BBQ is live streaming. Okay, let her. let her. She's a piece of garbage. I wonder how many more people she's going to bully to death. Right? How many more people she's going to con out of money. But either way, I'm not with her. She can do whatever the heck she wants to do. I could care less about her. Yeah, I've done a thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Betty, just do what you need to. Don't worry about the trolls and continuing questioning. My neighbor did my braids. I know. We were sitting out there and Seth is getting us, and I'm like, what is Seth going to be done? And she's playing with his braids, and then all of a sudden the dog went out. Like I'm like falling asleep, and we're still ready to go out to dinner. Seth is there getting his hair braided. A dog's running around. We're trying to keep the dog from getting hit by a car. Well, I didn't get out of the car. I couldn't get out of the car. But the neighbors, you got like 3 or 4 neighbors out there trying to keep the dog out of the road. We got cars going up and down the road. It was crazy. It was crazy. And his hair was braided by his neighbor, and he didn't like the braids that she put in his hair at first and made her redo them. That's sad. She's bullied someone to shreds. Yeah, she has. It sounds like, anyways, in my opinion, or based upon what I've heard, allegedly. Lots of haters with no real content. Borrow the stream for sure. Idiots. Absolute idiots. Actually, you know what? If she was on that side and she's making contact with me or showing my stuff, I don't know. That's getting a little dicey. It's getting a little dicey. All hate channels was so quick to announce Betty in court. Straight even. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this is all they have. They got one small victory lap on a freaking mile road. I mean, they're idiots. What can you do? I mean, like I said, I don't argue with them. Why? Because I don't argue with idiots. It makes me look like an idiot. I don't want to stoop to their level. If this is what makes their day, they're pretty, I mean, I can promise you they're miserable people that literally have no life or nothing happy to live for. Because nobody that's happy acts this way. We all know that. So we prefer to be happy. We prefer to have mental health. We don't prefer to have, we've got people in here that suffer from mental health problems, and they take care of themselves and they follow their doctor's directions and they are stable. There's not a lot of people on here that are like that. They'd rather be unstable or not take their medication or act like they don't have a problem. And those people go over to the camps for the insane asylum, like the hate channels. For the people that are sane and want knowledge about cases and want to assist in bringing people home, well, they come over to the good channels that advocate for victims of crime, that don't really care about those hate channels. But I can tell you, if I really wanted to focus on those hate channels, the stuff that I have might throw some of those people in jail, quite frankly. So, I mean, I've been doing this for quite a while. We have huge files. Huge files. Like I said, I keep my mouth shut. But do you not think there's a reason why I'm suing Queen Bee? If I didn't have as much as I have on her, I wouldn't be suing her. I'm upset that the judicial system is not being taken seriously. Are you kidding me? It was never even about protection. It was about shutting me up. That was clear by the last statements of that attorney. Can she make videos? They didn't care about their safety. They only cared about what was coming out of my mouth. Well, wait until you hear what's coming out of Seth and Tony's mouth, right? They are completely independent of me, and they can do whatever the hell they want to. So, I guess they're just going to have, Seth, I guess you might as well go ahead and start frisking yourself. I'll see you on the flip side. Hopefully you don't break out in the same rash I broke out in. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. You're a great person. Thank you. I understand it was unclear whether you can or can't discuss the case. I suspect the judge did not want that on the camera for all media to see. Well, that's not, he has to. He has to make it crystal clear. And I got an order that's very crystal clear to me on my parameters of what I can and cannot do. It's these idiots that don't know how to read because they weren't educated. They have never read an order. They have no idea what an order says. They don't even care what it says. All they want to care about is the smear. Well, we'll just keep talking, okay? We'll just keep talking. In my opinion, no shirt go in a bra. Seth said, you are the one of his people in voice. Yep. Tennessee is a clown town. No, Sumner, Tennessee is bad, but Sumner County is a freaking clown town. They don't know the first thing. They think that whatever they say, they don't have to apply real law from the rest of the state in their county. That they literally march to the beat of their own drum, that they're not beholden to the Tennessee statutes. They're not beholden to non-taxpayers, that they get to do whatever they want. That's not law and order. As a matter of fact, that's corruption. When I found out they had taken out protective orders against you, oh, it just popped up on me. Against you, I knew you were getting to them. They don't want anybody talking about Sebastian, in my opinion. No, they don't want anybody investigating. They don't care if you talk about them. They never cared if you talked about them. But this is really obvious to a lot of us, but apparently not real, actual law enforcement here in Sumner County. Apparently they hit the stupid pill, or took the stupid pill, and can't see the forest for the trees. Or maybe they can, and they're just good. They would prefer shutting me up because it's hurting their case. But the problem is they got to work around the First Amendment too. Okay? Which they don't want to do. They want to take the easy way out, shut the lady up. Well, I hate to burst everybody's bubble, including that judge and law enforcement. There's about 100 more people right behind me. What are they going to do? Arrest all of them? Shut all of them up? I mean, I'm just curious, because I don't know them, but I can tell you, I turn on this and I go through about 20 or 40 videos on a daily from the same creators that I'm learning about, that are talking about this case in the same fashion I'm talking about it. But I think what they're trying to do is threaten everybody else. If you don't leave us alone, if you don't quit talking about us, if you don't quit accusing us. Well, I'm sorry, but you know what? Our opinions are our opinions, and we are entitled to those. In my opinion. But you know what? I guess Sumner County is not really America. I don't know. All I know is that Seth is one pissed off father, one hurt father. And I don't think I've ever seen Tony Mathis so angry. So I don't have to be angry anymore. They already pissed off the two people I was trying to keep from being pissed off. You know? I did what I could. Gloves are off, Seth said. Gloves are off. So I'm just going to let them do their own bidding. We're going to continue to talk about the case. We're going to continue to look for ways to find and bring Sebastian home. We actually had some good conversations tonight that might lead the case in a different direction, quite frankly. So we'll see where all that goes, that as well. Stephanie says, we accuse the mom because the son disappeared inside the locked home. For which case? I think the pure evil of laughing in court. Yeah, it is. It is. Betty, check your phone. Hold on. Phone about Betty, check your phone. I just checked my phone. I just checked. Were you... Don't tell me you sent me a picture of frickin' Chili's. I'll smack you through the phone. Oh, I can't play that right now. I can't play that because I'm live. Well, I'm ready to close this live down anyways. I've talked too much anyways. I was expecting only to be on here just for a little bit. It's already midnight and I've got to get up at the crack of dawn and roll out. So, Oregon loves you, Seth. Aw, thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much. Be Betty, Truth, it's nice to see you. So what, I remember there was something I was supposed to, I remember I was supposed to say something and I forgot because I don't have my notes here. So I think we're going to have to say the something I was supposed to say tonight, tomorrow night, because I don't, and I may not go live. I'll just tell you guys, I may not go live tomorrow. I'll try, but I may not be able to because I'm going to be traveling back home. And I don't know what my travel time is going to look like going back home because it took me 24 hours or 25 hours to get here because of the traffic. But that was leaving, when everybody else was trying to leave the state of Florida because of the second hurricane. And so I don't know what type of flooding I'm coming back to. I don't know what, if we have roads in certain areas. Let me see here. Okay, I got the thing on my phone. I was hoping you'd clarify what it was because I can't play it when I'm on this. It won't show it. And the only way I can see it is to... Just because you... Oh, good. Oh, you're an asshole. I didn't mean for that to pop out. Tony, you need to muzzle him. Are you in here, Tony? Tony, are you watching? Are you somewhere in the ether there? I think you need to remuzzle Seth. He's out of control in my they don't even know what I'm talking about. But Tony, it's all your fault and you know what you did. Seth is still messing. Yes, he is. You should have seen what he wrote. This is the link to Court TV in my interview. Oh, great. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow when I get back home, I'll be able to play some more. We'll go over that. So I plan on going over a lot. I plan on moving forward with our show. I plan on advocating for Sebastian. And I plan on still continuing to send leads over to the team. Where can we watch? I'll post it in my my community tab once I'm over this, so you guys can watch it if you haven't had an opportunity to watch the interview with Seth. But again, I think the messaging tonight is the muzzle's off Seth. I mean, it looked like Tony pulled that muzzle off Seth, and it sounds like the gloves are off, and they're going to fight hard for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I wish them the best of luck on that, and definitely will continue to do my part as this channel will. We lit up the world green, y'all. That's what our channel did. That's what our channel did. We have avocation for this young man all over this country and all over this world because of the work this channel did. We have Dog the Bounty Hunter, I'm sure, because of the recognition that this channel got from our unwavering dedication to this young man. So we're going to continue to do what we do best. And that, thank you, Seth. Seth just dropped it right there. We're going to continue to do what we do best. What they're concerned about is that we are good. We have found people. We have directed law enforcement to suspects in crimes. Now, granted, we didn't know it at the time, but there are several cases that have come to their conclusion. And we know we were on the right track, and we provided those leads and tips to law enforcement. And it's too bad this judge did not give me an opportunity to talk about the good work we've done on this case. He only allowed me to answer the questions that were being thrown at me. And unfortunately, those questions didn't have a whole lot to do with Sebastian. They had to do with everybody else but him. And all we've been wanting to do is talk about him and not everybody else. But it's hard to talk about what happened to him without talking about the people in his life that were in and around this child when he disappeared. So, sorry, but once we get direction, a little bit clearer direction from our attorneys, we'll see where this all goes. But don't think I'm stopping talking about Sebastian. I don't think that any appellate court, any Supreme Court would like anybody preventing somebody their constitutional rights of freedom of speech in this country. I think that that is really, really frowned upon in the judicial system. But again, we're not following the judicial system. We're following Sumner County and their BS laws that they make up as they go. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. God bless you guys. It's time for me to call it a night and get out of here. As you guys can see, pretty much the whole entire team is pretty raw. Pretty upset, you know, that a county is working this hard to shut this case down when they ain't doing crap to help. Just my opinion. All right, guys, love you. God bless. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I just want to say that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is 5'5", 120 pounds. He's got brown eyes, blondish to brown hair, and he is high-functioning autistic. He was last seen on February 26, 2024, wearing a long-sleeve black shirt with some type of graphic on it, and black pants, Adidas style, with the white stripe down it, barefoot, and alleged keychain flashlight. Of course, that that small detail didn't happen until after March 14th, when Nick Barris dropped a bombshell video that showed movement outside of their home at night. Those are just the facts of the case. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Seth, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for posting your interview. I hope everybody goes out and watches Seth's interview. And I hope you guys have a great and wonderful evening. Take care.